Have you heard of a miracle WrestleMania? What about a miracle flat tummy? Well, here are 20 African pastors who were caught staging miracles. Let us know what you think in the comment section. Number 20, Victor Kanyari. Speaking of a prophet who may have just missed his calling as a chemist, is the founder and senior pastor of Salvation Healing Ministry in Kenya, who was caught performing one of the most applaudable miracles ever. I mean, who could have ever thought that this man, who had dropped out from Form 2, could have masterminded a fraudulent program such as this? If you're familiar with the belief in feet washing, common in some Christian denominations, then this act shouldn't be too strange to your hearing. However, the great Victor Kanyari found it too boring to just wash the feet of his members in water and decided to use a chemical called potassium permanganate to make the miracle more believable and majestic as possible, as per Assistant Jesus. The chemical, which is known to turn to a reddish maroon color, in short, a kind of blood-like appearance upon reaction with water in the hands of the feet washers. The miracle prepared, specially for sick victims, allowed the patient to dip their feet into the water, and by that action, the feet washers would place their hands to wash and the red liquid would start to form by their feet, a wonderful evidence of their healing. Proof that the blood being washed away was the contaminated blood. The truth was uncovered by a television program that probably had enough of the lies. Number 19, Pastor Zenzile November. Number 19 shows us another miracle gone wrong in the Victorious Faith Mission Church in South Africa, headed by the self-anointed man of God, Pastor Zenzile November. For whatever reason he adds November to his name, it could not be more embarrassing than the unfortunate incident when he asked one of his members if she had suffered from pimples in the down below, which she confirmed she did. The mighty man of God then decided to hand over a holy relic in form of a shoe which possessed the same amount of power as the pastor. He then instructed that she place the shoe in between her legs. On engaging the instruction, the lady was instantly flung to the ground when she had entered into the strange state of the spiritual power. But your dear member was then seen after regaining herself and was asked if she had received her miracle. But very surprisingly, she answered that she had not. Whether they paid her a complete money or the clergyman did not release enough power, we may never know. Number 18, Lesego Daniel. It seems Africa can't get enough of these transformer energetic pastors, because how did we almost miss this one? Ladies and gentlemen, meet Pastor Professor Lesego Daniel, aka Snake Pastor of the Rabboni Center Ministries, whose specialty is in transforming ordinary harmful substances into delicious edibles. He was already known for his act in South Africa, where he had taken a live snake, brought it to his congregation, wrapped it around his head, and even placed it on the communion table, and dared his congregation to approach the table and receive the communion. Daniels is also one of the favorite headliners who used the transformation power to transform grass into delicious meal. But once again, he strikes. This time, he is revealed for his notorious act. The pastor, who was said to have brought in petrol and had told his worshippers to drink from the bottle, claiming to have turned it into pineapple juice. Following the alleged change, he beckoned on members to taste the now pineapple juice, asking if they wanted a sip. According to some witnesses, members were seen toppling over one another as they fought for a drop. However, it was then said that a few members who partook of the miracle pineapple juice had afterwards died or had gotten admitted in the hospital. He remembered to leave a disclaimer warning that the level of anointing was not the same, and that if you cannot turn water into wine, then do not try it at home.
But my word shall remain. Yes. My word shall do what? Oh. You want to drink pineapple juice? Okay. Wait. Is it nice? How does it taste like?
It's sweet.
Is it nice? Oh, man of God, you want to taste? Is it nice? Okay.
Number 17, Apostle Febian Nna. Over here in Nigeria, we have also been faced with some form of pastors that either make you laugh or actually ponder on a lot of things. Port Harcourt-based pastor Apostle Febian Nna of Fire of Liberation Interdenominational Ministries was said to have raised a dead man and brought him to life. According to the news, while church service was still ongoing, a man supposedly dead was brought into the service, interrupting but gaining the attention of the founder of the church. While he was placed just below the altar region, a woman was seen, probably supposed to be his wife or sister, or maybe even his daughter, as she lamented her most painful ordeal since the demise of the man in front was that who would now buy her chicken and shawarma. But soon, the man of God insisted that the church begin to pray. With intense prayers at last, the man came back to life. Soon enough, the news around was that the pastor was capable of bringing the dead back to life. But Febian dismissed all as fake rumors and unveiled with pictures and evidence that he had not raised any man from the dead, and that in fact, it was a drama presentation that had been performed by the drama department of the church. With that news, it seemed that the mismanaged information had circulated from one mouth to the other until everything changed last. Number 16, Prophet Makandiwa. Next on this list of miracles gone terribly wrong is brought on by the Zimbabwean prophet Emmanuel Makandiwa of the United Family International Church, best known as Prophet Makandiwa. Demonstrating the supernatural, the prophet is recognized for his award-winning performance as he displays some kind of ability to make his members lose weight instantly. So in the video, we see the prophet prepare for the unbelievable as he asks the camera to remain positioned on the selected participants for the spiritual tummy talk. Soon enough, after the power transference, the members claim to have had their tummy flattened. So here's an alternative. Instead of going through a more disciplined way of losing tummy fat, the prophet, who hovers his hand over the female congregants, and almost immediately the so-called bloated tummy turns flat instantly, is then celebrated and thanked. But I thought this was supposed to be God's doing. Not shockingly, many have called that the clergyman, especially for this particular performance, as it is believed that the miracles may have been staged. Their opinion being that it isn't really hard to see the women blow out their tummies and then suck them in for a few seconds. Anyway, that one concerned him, Sha.
Of the Spirit.
Number 15, Prophet David Rauf. If you have not met the transgenerational prophet, then I must introduce to you Prophet David Rauf, general prophet and founder of the church, Stars of Heaven Ministries, well known across the country and afar. The respected and loved prophet, however, was called out to have staged a miracle of miraculous credit alerts in the church after the man of God had made a declaration of a strange order of miracle money. The prophet was then applauded when several members came to testify of the money in thousands found in their accounts, bringing their account balances as proof. However, many social media users found it quite unlikely to be believable and was viewed to be staged.
At this realm, I can even unlock your phone. At that realm, we can unlock everything. See it. Save it to Raymond. Call him. It is done. Just like that. Can you imagine? You to receive your miracle. Receive your testimony. Receive your testimony.
Number 14, Light Monyeki. South African pastor Prophet Light Monyeki of Grace Living Hope Ministries, who is known to have mixed a deadly rat poison with water and give it to his members to drink, claimed it was only an act to show the power of God. The poison Ratex is toxic to humans and may as well be one of the most effective poisons when dealing with pests consumed by humans. It is most likely that the best option is to seek medical help immediately, but not for these congregants. Prophet Monyeki of the South African Church, in one of his services, took an amount of the powdered poison, mixed it into a bottle of cold water, shook it, and beckoned on any member who was ready to display an act of faith. The Bible teaching for the day finally selected. It was also said that the prophet had taken a gulp from the bottle prior to encourage the fearful members. Soon, many came out and took a drink for themselves. Following, after all the cheers and prayers, it was then said that many of the members who had drunk from the bottle were rushed to the hospital for immediate treatment. Perhaps they did not have enough faith, but seriously, let's be properly guided. Number 13, Prophet alph Lukau. Prophet alph Lukau, General Overseer of the South African Church Alleluia Ministries International, who is reportedly a coach, leader, and mentor, and has the exceptional mandate of targeting and restoring families with miracles and healings, was placed in the spotlight years ago and faced some backlash after he had supposedly raised a dead man. That's right, this prophet was said to have been having his everyday service when a loud cry from outside was heard. Instantly, drawing the attention from the senior pastor, he headed outside to the overflow where we see a casket thrown open and a man lying inside. It would have been better if this was a drama presentation though. That way, lesser offense would have been taken, even though the dead man, was already making a bad reputation for actors all around. Somehow, the cameraman, who must have had a grudge against the man of God, positioned himself at an angle that captured the entire miracle. After the release of the video, many exclaimed at how the dead man wasn't dead enough, since the actor was happily breathing in and out of the casket. The prophet then laid hands on the dead man until he jerked back to life. And actually, the video got more laughs than awe. Later on, alph Lukau apologized to the public and attested to the fact that the man was actually alive when he was brought in, but that he had no intention of faking the miracle, denying all allegations. He stated that the family of the boy be questioned for more answers.
His name?
Jesus.
Elliot. Hello, Elliot. Elliot. Elliot.
Jesus. Olabas. Life. Rise up. Yes. Come on. Yes. Come on. Hey. 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 Jesus.
Number 12, Prophet John Okafor.
Are you aware that before anything happens in the physical, there are courts where the judgment takes place? Nothing you see in the physical that just happened. Before anything happens, it's been decided in the spirit. But unfortunately, you don't have access to court. The enemy decides on your behalf. Thanksgiving give you access. Open his gate.
Nigerian Christian minister and televangelist, as well as the founder of the Liberation City, joins the list, especially for one of his staged miracles believed to have been disguised under the tenet of deliverances. Okafor was already a controversial pastor and was singled out, especially since he had already brought back a dead baby to life when it was obvious that the baby girl had been sleeping, as the baby's body movements and her eyes could be seen open. But what was more virally known was when he had performed a jaw-dropping miracle on a woman whose name was Bose Olasunkomi. The video got lots of views, showing the woman, who had a mysteriously deformed arm, suddenly get the arm stretched out after his intense prayers. In the video, many wowed at the possibility of the miracle performed by the man of God, while others were still of the opinion that it was staged, especially since a transaction of about 400,000 naira was said to be paid to the woman. Okafor, although, rubbished the claims and retorted that the money was indeed paid to the woman, but for her upkeep. The woman later confessed that she was an actress who had worked fake miracles around and had done what she was good at for the pastor likewise.
You wonder, they told you that they don't see anything like bone there. If witches can do this, my God can do better than witches.
Yes, sir. Yes. Consuming fire. Come and manifest yourself. You got fire in your eyes.
Number 11, Prophet Bushiri, Sheperd. If I see something in the spirit, I can capture it and it can appear in the physical. These are the words of the Malawi preacher recognized as Major One, aka Prophet Sheperd Bushiri of the Enlightened Christian Gathering, the Jesus Nation. As one of the most controversial figures in the church, the prophet has been involved in one scandal right after the other. When a video of him circulated as he claimed to have been able to walk on air, Sheperd again was also known to have miraculously displayed a picture of a member's daughter, spiritually transferring the picture to a supposed random tablet. He had started off making how he knew the member's daughter, but in the spirit, and having tried to remember her name and failed, he had decided to upload the picture from the heavenly realm, showing the picture of the young girl. He went further after a series of incredible musical interlude to then go ahead and take yet another picture from the spiritual, this time of the man's wife. A woman also came out and confessed to have been part of their team some months ago, who testified in this church recently and had actually gotten paid by the prophet for doing so. But of course, she was denied by the church as to have had any relationship with her. She claimed to have been embarrassed and hoped she could start afresh on a clean slate. If you think you've seen it all, you haven't. Be sure to drop a like for us at the end of this video. Odumeje, another popular Nigerian prophet and the general overseer of the Mountain of Holy Ghost Intervention and Deliverance Ministry, is the lion himself, the war, the fight, the liquid metal. Odumeje, also dubbed the Smackdown Pastor. The clergyman, whose real name is Cyril Ohanemere, has been known for his viral hilarious conversation with his members and his hit song Powers with the Nigerian artist Flavor. But more importantly, he has been called out for having a long list of stage miracles in the church, identified for his usual violent deliverance sessions, especially because he is not a preacher of love. He has been seen countlessly beating up the demons in his members by throwing them across the room over other members and even into chairs. But luckily, this is all in the name of deliverance, so why not? He has, however, mentioned that he has never done any fake miracle before, admits whatever the public may say, and despite the amount of dramatic performance witnessed on the internet.
Unstoppable, watch us speak! Watch us speak! Watch us speak! Mysterious entity! Supernatural operating in the midst of natural man!
Pastor Kakande. Senior pastor and founder of the Kakande Ministries in Kampala, Uganda, Pastor Samuel Kakande is a top pastor who is known for his miracle deliverance football sessions. The pastor, who is dressed in a suit, brings the supernatural football in quotes. He then encourages other members or fellow pastors to attempt to take the ball from him. Moving away from his dribbling skills in front of the congregation, he then passes the ball to and fro, and as members approach him, they are flung into a state of deliverance, which is trademarked by seizure-like movements, falling intensely to the floor in a trance state. Kakande claims he uses the mystery of the ball and the power of Jesus to set many free. This Ugandan prophet is believed by many to have staged the incredibly dramatic performance, but applauds him nonetheless for the entertainment part.
Time for the ball, time for the ball.
Here
Here we go. Time for the ball, time for the ball.
Mpira,
Kakande
mpira.
Kakande mpira.
Go!
There we go.
Pastor Blinks. Jaw-dropping instances in the church episodes of the Febian Nna Mensa, aka Pastor Blinks, is seen more as a skit maker than a pastor. The controversial personality, who claimed to have been given a special assignment from heaven as a cleanser, is believed by his congregation to have been so anointed, which explains why his ministry is targeted at the female church members. His mind-boggling deliverances usually takes place since his calling is charged towards the wholesomeness and purity of his members by taking his time to scrub the body of his female church members, bathing them in front of the congregation, and even shaving their privates in public. Pastor Blinks of End Time Church in Ghana is still viewed as one of the fakest miracle performers in Africa. Prophet Angel Obinim. Ghanaian-born pastor Daniel Obinim, popularly known as Angel Obinim, is a minister of the International God's Way Church located in Ghana, who declares himself to be an angel of God, hence his name. Having told his church he can transform himself to different animals alongside others, he's recognized for his miracles, like when he had stepped on a sick woman's stomach. In the process of delivering her, tried to fly back to heaven as the angel that he is, but unfortunately got held back by his members who were reluctant to let him go. He's also seen to have battled with several demons in quotes, giving it the best he's got, and having intimate moments with female members in the church in the name of deliverance. I beg, I know fish out. Paul Sayangore. At number 4 is Pastor Paul Sayangore, Zimbabwean pastor of Victory World International, who is known for his questionable manner of ministry. Having introduced a new dimension of deliverances and apparently having the direct phone number of God, Pastor Paul dials the number on his phone and makes the call to the heavenly line. Once the call connects, the congregation marvel as the issue is as good as solved. In one of his phone call sessions, a woman, obviously in some kind of distress, is seen on her knees awaiting her deliverance, while the pastor paces back and forth, placing the phone call. After, the call is supernaturally answered. But why the call is not on speaker will remain a mystery. He then relays some information from the heavenly speaker, which the woman affirms to, as the entire church explodes in shocking amazement. The woman continues to affirm every of his findings as more whoops and cheers erupt. Finally, after the call, he lays hands on her before the woman falls into a seemingly trance, leaving the church again in uproar and her problem unsolved. Pastor Paseka Motsoeneng, South African televangelist and self-acclaimed leader of the church, Incredible Happening Ministries, South Africa. Prophet Paseka, aka Prophet Mboro, became more under the public eye after he had decided to charge his congregation to see the pictures he had taken in heaven. Yes, he had reportedly refused to show any of his members the pictures he had taken on his Samsung S5 phone while in the heavenly realm. He made sure whoever who was to view these spiritual pictures would pay the form of 5,000 rands, which today would be around 400,000 in Naira for a picture. A miraculous fraud scheme, you could say. Prophet Penuel Mguni. And next is the controversial pastor, South African pastor of the End Times Disciples Ministry, Prophet Penuel, who is known for telling his church members to eat a live snake as a demonstration of God's power, and is now known for stepping on his members to deliver them. The pastor had asked those who were sick, I repeat, those who were sick, to step out and pile themselves up so they could receive their healings as he walked over them with his shoes on. Afterwards, he asked if they could check for pains as they were now healed. They affirmed to it, but many onliners were sure and believed that the aftermath of the pains would return the next morning from the violent stepping. Lethebo Rabalago, South African pastor nicknamed Prophet Doom, who discovered the cure of cancer and HIV via the popular insect repellent known as Doom, in his church viral pictures, was seen spraying insecticide into the eyes, faces, and legs, as well as other parts of his congregation, depending on how he was led. The deliverance was tagged as fake after there were supposed reports on some members falling severely ill or developing coughing fits lasting up to 7 months. The Mount Zion General Assembly overseer was charged with counts of arrest, which is believed to be cases of assault. May God help Africa. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to get more of these videos, and I'll see you in the next one.